Hi guys, so I'm back with my WrestleMania 41 Night 1 recap video. So yes, last night we had the first night of WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas in the Allegiant Stadium. So I kind of stopped doing recap and review videos of pay-per-views the last few months, but for WrestleMania I thought I'd bring it back, and I'm probably might bring it back for SummerSlam and the big shows as well. So yes, last night we had the first night. And I'm just going to do my quick thoughts, my quick recaps on all the matches, the results. I'm not going to do a full review because this video will be like 30, 40 minutes long. So just a quick recap on the results and the matches. But obviously a big talking point as we get to the main event, of course. So to kick off night one, we had Gunther defending his World Heavyweight Championship going up against Jey Uso. And this was a fun 16.5-minute match. The crowd seemed into it, a little bit quiet at times, but yeah, I was not watching it, enjoying it that much, because it was very obvious Jey Uso was winning. You know, he was 0-6 in world title matches coming into this, 0-3 against Gunther, winning the Royal Rumble and all that, so he wasn't going to lose here, and yeah. Towards the end, he pulled off a big comeback. He hit a bunch of splashes on Gunther. There was a few cool kickouts, a few cool moments, I will say. Jey kicking out off of powerbomb was quite cool. Then towards the end, the finish is where it kind of went, though. Oh, I didn't like the finish. So I think he hits 2 splashes on Gunther, and then he goes for a submission. And within like 3 seconds, Gunther taps out. And I was like, what? Gunther taps out to his own clutch, his own sleeper hold in like 3 seconds, so quick. Oh, and then Jey wins. I think the crowd took it as a surprise too, because even the crowd didn't pop. They were like, "Oh, has Jey won? Yay, okay." I think Jey should have just got a clean pinfall victory over Gunther, like maybe 3 splashes in a row. That's how he wins, dominant win. But for Gunther to tap out so quickly, I think it's really damaged Gunther's credibility as a dominant heel character. Where'd you go from there? Tapping out to Jey Uso, who never hits submissions. At least have Gunther fight it for a little bit, and then he taps out, or he just passes out. Really weak finish. So what was otherwise a very solid match to kick off night one. Where does Gunther go from here? Unless he beats down Jey Uso on Raw next week, I don't know. But he's not going to get a rematch, I don't think, because they're going to want to have Jey Uso have at least a several-month title reign until he drops it. So where'd you go from here with Gunther? I don't know, man, but I'm happy for Jey, I guess. He's finally won a world title. Only took him his solid 7th match for the world title. He finally won one. Fair enough. And Jimmy came out in the ring and celebrated, so yeah, yeet, I guess. Then we got the New Day and the War Raiders in a fun little 9-minute match. The New Day cheated at the end to win, though, so they win the Tag Team Champions. They have their 13th world title now, although the New Day haven't won a world title in years, so it's fair enough, even though the War Raiders had it won, but Kofi and Xavier cheated at the end in a fun 9-minute match. So, yeah. Jade, Cargill and Naomi had a fun 9-minute match. I will say Jade did look a little stiff at parts. Like, I do think Naomi did carry a lot of the match, you know, because obviously she's like the reliable, safe worker. And maybe Jade still did look good, don't get me wrong, but I still think she still looks a bit green and a bit stiff when it's just her and someone else. Like when she's not in tag team competition and she can just hit 5 or 6 moves. Yeah, and there was 1 or 2, I think, little botch spots, and I think Jade did have a few wardrobe malfunctions during the match, which was a bit awkward. But yeah, towards the end, she hits like this flip converted powerbomb, and then she hits her finisher, boom, 1, 2, 3. So the finish was cool. And yeah, and Jade Cargill defeats Naomi in a fun 9-minute match, yeah. And then we got a really good match. Yes, we got Jacob Fatu going up against LA Knight for the United States Championship. Of course, LA Knight defending the belt. And this was a really fun 10.5-minute match. I genuinely thought this might have been a squash. They're going to have Jacob Fatu just squash LA Knight in like 3-4 minutes. But no, this was a really good 10-minute match. And LA Knight held his own, man. You know, Jacob Fatu is like an absolute beast. he's a wrecking machine, as I was portraying him as. And but LA Knight held his own, man, and there were some really cool spots in this match. There was a "This is awesome" chant, I think, near the end. LA Knight hit this really cool, like Jacob Fatu went for a spin off the top rope, but LA Knight countered it into a BFT. Ooh, really, really cool for a close fall. But then towards the end, Jacob Fatu gets back in control. I forgot what Jacob Fatu's finisher is. Is it just a top rope splash? I think it is, isn't it? I think. And Jacob Fatu wins his first singles title, defeats LA Knight in a very fun match. And yeah, it was very obvious. Jacob Fatu was probably going to win. I don't know. I only picked LA Knight in the prediction video because I thought Solo might come out and cost with interference because he's jealous, but no, it didn't happen. So fair enough. They're obviously very high on Jacob Fatu. They're going to push him to the moon. I'm very excited to see what this US title run's going to look like. I hope he has some good defenses, and I think they're definitely going to start teasing tension between him and Solo in a little bit. So yeah, but happy for Jacob Fatu, and LA Knight can take the loss because he looked great. Anyway, he won last year, didn't he, against AJ? So yeah. Then next up we had was El Grande Americano going up against Rey Fénix. This was the shortest match of night one, only went seven and a bit minutes, but it was fun. Very fun, like luchador style match, even though El Grande Americano isn't luchador. Of course, Rey Fénix took the place of Rey Mysterio because unfortunately Rey was injured. And yeah, it was a fun match. This really could have felt like it could have been on Raw or SmackDown, but whatever. It was a fun match, I guess. Some really good spots. There was El Grande. I'm just gonna say Chad Gable. Chad Gable hit this really cool, like spinning senton off the top rope. Boom. And but Rey Fénix held his own too. This was like his WrestleMania debut, I think, wasn't it? For Rey Fénix. I can't remember quite what the finish was. I think that obviously El Grande Americano cheated. He put like the metal eye patch in and poof, he just whacked Rey Fénix with it. Cheated again like he did on SmackDown. Hit, I think, top rope move, 1, 2, 3. And yeah, he wins, but via cheating. I don't think this feud is definitely not over, though. I think Rey will want to get some comeuppance and have a match with El Grande when he's back from injury. But I think this feud's definitely not over, like American Made versus the Luchadors. So yeah, but fun match. Then we got Tiffany Stratton going against Charlotte Flair. Of course, Tiffany Stratton defending her women's championship in a really solid 19-minute match. These two brought it. I loved Tiffany's entrance, like in like the Barbie doll, actually came out like that, and in the box, and Charlotte's entrance coming out like from the escort and the big car, bow to the Queen. And for 19 minutes, these two gave it their all. Wow, it was like that from the very beginning. Very, very fast-paced match. Both of them brought it. Some great spots throughout. Tiffany was like targeting Charlotte's leg at some points. They were hitting, obviously, there were figure fours. Natural select. Charlotte hit a really cool like natural selection off the top rope when Tiffany was down for a near fall. I thought that won it at one point. She goes for the figure 8, but Tiffany gets out of it and by attacking Charlotte's injured leg. It was great, man. I think at some point in the match though, Tiffany chipped her tooth because at the end she had a bit of a chipped tooth, but I think they fixed it already. But then towards the end, I think the last 5 minutes, Tiffany looked knackered, man. She looked gassed. I think Charlotte had to like really get her through the last few bits of the match. I guess maybe because she's a little bit inexperienced. Tiffany, this is her first WrestleMania with Charlotte. This is like Charlotte's, 8th, 9th WrestleMania, something like that. So she's much more experienced as the veteran. But then the finish came, Tiffany, out of nowhere, I think Tiffany just gets Charlotte down. The moonsault, which Tiffany hits, 1, 2, 3. I was like, I just wasn't expecting it. I thought the match was going to go on for at least another 5 minutes and Charlotte was going to kick out, but no. Tiffany just retains. Boom. Clean. Okay, fair enough. I did predict Charlotte. I just thought maybe they're going to give Charlotte another title run and then Tiffany gets her rematch. But no, I guess they've done what's best for business. Charlotte now, obviously, as she is pretty much a veteran, she's given back to the business and putting over the younger talent, the new stars, as in Tiffany Stratton, who is, of course, going to be a massive... Well, she is. She's going to be a huge star in the women's division. She's only in her mid-20s and she's already beaten Charlotte Flair in her first WrestleMania. So, yeah, the sky's the limit for Tiffany Stratton. And I think Charlotte did the right thing by putting her over. So, yeah, very, very solid match. Bit sloppy, though. I think there was 1 or 2 little botch spots higher in there. But apart from that, very solid 19-minute match, yeah. Then on to the main event. Oh, my God. What a match. Yes, we had triple threat match. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Of course, CM Punk with Paul Heyman. This match went 32.5 minutes, or nearly 33 minutes. Wow. The entrances were like 25 minutes, something like that. All 3 men got great entrances. CM Punk got the live culture in living colour live there, in cult of personality. It was great, man. The match was incredible. I'm not exaggerating. I think this was the best triple threat main event. Well, I mean, triple threat main events, part of me. Not really. It's not recently, apart from maybe 37 with Edge, Bryan, and Roman. Anyway, just cover that. This was the best triple threat, I think, in WrestleMania history. Oh, maybe that's a grand statement. Okay, maybe one of the best triple threats in Mania history. Wow, that's a top 5. This match was incredible. All 3 men delivered, as you would expect they would. Punk, Seth and Roman, the three top guys in the company, aside from obviously Cody and Cena, from tonight. It was just incredible, man. It was just everything. I can't go from everything in the match, but Punk held his own. I thought maybe Punk would gas a little bit. I think he did a bit towards the end. You know, Punk is in his late 40s now. He's a little bit older than Roman and Seth, but he definitely still held his own. There was GCSs, there was spears, there was curb stomps, there was Superman punches, there was the Anaconda Vice. What's Punk's submission? He hit that a few times. There were sharpshooters. There were power bombs through the table. Yes, they teased the Shield team up. And Roman's like, like they've got Punk up, but then he attacks Seth. I was like, I thought we were gonna get a Shield power bomb like the old days. No, wasn't to be. And they put Punk through the table. There was an amazing spot near the end where Punk hits a GTS. Oh, hang on, what was it? I think spear, GTS, stomp, or it was a GTS spear stomp in that order. Boom, boom, boom. All three were down. There was a "This is awesome" chant, and Paul Heyman's like this because he doesn't know. He's like, obviously he's torn between Roman and Punk. He's like, what do I do? And then towards the end, he throws in the steel chair, and he throws it to Punk, and he's like, "I'm sorry, my tribal chief." It's like he's betrayed Roman, but then he low blows Punk. It's like, oh my god, oh my god, and then Roman's like, "Yes, I knew you wouldn't let me down, my wise man." And then he goes like towards Seth with the steel chair, and then Heyman low blows Roman. I was like, "Oh my god!" I mean, we knew it was coming. We knew he was going to side with Seth. I think it was very obvious in the build to this match that Punk's going to betray both of them and side with Seth. But still, watching it was still nonetheless at that moment, OMG moment. And yeah, he hands the steel chair to Seth, and Seth just starts whacking Roman, and then how does he win? I think he hits a curb stomp. On Roman 1-2 and pins Roman Reigns clean. Well, was it clean because of Paul Heyman's interference? I don't know, but yeah, pins Roman Reigns. I'm surprised. I really thought Punk would take the pin, but I guess they didn't want him to take the pin in his first WrestleMania main event and his first WrestleMania match in 13 years, or 12 years. So, but incredible finish. And Paul Heyman now has aligned himself with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is the new Paul Heyman guy. End of an era. We've seen Paul Heyman turned on Roman. Just that moment, him turning on Roman. Obviously, the Punk was sad too, but they've only been back together for like a month or two, haven't they? But turning on Roman like that was heartbreaking, man. Because how long have those two been a team? Since Roman became back as a tribal chief character in 2020. So 4.5, 5 years they've been a team. Oh, end of an era, man. End of an era. And now he's turned his back on both of them and he's sided with Seth. I can't wait to see what Seth's going to be like as a Paul Heyman guy. Where's this going to lead? Very interesting. I assume Punk and Roman are going to want some retribution. Or is there going to be a rematch maybe? A backlash? We'll see. But what a triple threat to end night one. I mean, 32 minutes. It was an incredible triple threat. Like I said, one of the best triple threats I can think of in recent memory at WrestleMania. I think better than Edge, Bryan, and Roman from 37. Incredible. Yeah, guys. So how is this going to factor in tonight? I've seen some people saying Seth and Heyman are going to maybe get involved towards the end of Cena and Cody, maybe, and maybe they're going to tease a new super heel faction with Rock, Cena, Seth and Heyman. Could you imagine? Just to see what happens tonight, man, in the main event. But yeah, that was night one. Really solid first night. A few sloppy finishes here and there. Some matches would have... all the matches were good to great. Just some sloppy bits here and there. I did not like the finish of Gunther and Jey. But the best matches for me, the three best matches, Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, great. Charlotte, Flair and Tiffany, great. But the main event, iconic. But just an iconic 30-minute main event with an iconic ending that's going to be talked about for years to come. Wow. So guys, what did you think of WrestleMania 41 Night 1? Comment below, let me know. And I am very much looking forward to tonight. Woo, I think tonight's could just as good, even better. And we've got the IC Fatal 4-Way. We've got LA Knight. We've got AJ Styles and Logan Paul. We've got the triple threat with Bianca, Io, and Rhea. We've got Drew and Damian Priest in what's going to be a crazy street fight. Randy Orton's open challenge. Who's he going to face? Ooh. And of course, Cody and Cena in the main event. I can't wait for that, man. What is going to happen? I think I think it's pretty obvious Cena's going to win. But how is he going to win? How is he going to win as a heel? Is he with The Rock helping, with Paul and Seth coming out to help? We'll see, man. I can't wait for that main event, though. Oh, heel John Cena in his final WrestleMania. Oh, man, I'm pumped for the night, too. So thank you for watching, guys. Comment below, what did you think of Night 1? And I'll see you all. I'll be back again tomorrow with my Night 2 recap. Thanks, guys.